Good morning students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. So welcome to another video of science. So today we are going to start with our new chapter of class 6 science, that is body movements, right? So what comes to your mind when you think of body movement? What is this movement? Movement is the freedom to move from one place to another. But how do we move? With the help of our legs, right? So in this chapter, we are going to learn about human body movements and joints, different types of joints. In this section, we will discuss the ball and socket joint, hip joint, pivotal joint, fixed joint. Then we will study about the skeletal system, bones, cartilage, muscles, movement in other movement in other animals, right? So, what happens? When we say yes, when we note, we move our head like this, up and down. And when we have to say no, we move our head like side by side, right? So this is also a kind of movement, right? So all living organisms show movement, right? Different kinds of movement shows in different kinds of living organisms. So can plants show movement? Do plants show any movement? Yeah, they don't move from one place to another like animals like us. But yes, they show movement. How? We have learned in chapter 7, getting to know plants, that plants get water from the roots and from the xylem tubes, right? So from the xylem tubes, the water get transported from the roots to the other parts of the plant. So this is a kind of movement. And we know that plants prepare their own food, and leaves are the food factories of plants, right? So from the leaves, the prepared food transferred from the leaves to other parts of the plant from phloem. So this is also a kind of movement. Have you heard about touch me plant? Right? तो वो भी आपका movement का ही part है, example है. So all living organisms show different kinds of movement, right? So we will be discussing in this chapter that how human beings move, what are the body parts included in the body movement, and we will also study about the skeletal system, and last we will study about the movement in other animals. So let us discuss these topics one by one. Okay, let's discuss about skeletal system, skeleton. Okay, so if we press our fingers against the top of our head, face, neck, shoulder, chest, back, arms, so we will feel some hard structure inside them. And this hard structure inside our body are the bones. So actually our body is supported on a hard framework of bones. The bony framework inside our body is called skeleton. So in human beings, the skeleton is inside the body, so it is called an endoskeleton. So what is skeleton system? The bones of skeleton provides a framework which holds our body together. So it forms a framework of the body, and it is composed of bones, cartilages and joints. Alright, so the human skeleton is made mostly of bones with some cartilage in certain parts. Bones are hard and tough, but cartilage is softer than bones. Okay, so this X-ray image show the shape and number of bones in the various parts of our body. And X-ray is usually taken in a hospital to find out whether the bone of a person has been fractured during an accident. So there are 206 bones in the human skeleton or human body, and the bones of skeleton are interconnected through joints to form various parts of a body. Alright, so our skeleton has movable joints between various bones which allow the muscle to move the head, shoulders, arms, legs, and other parts of our body. You can see the picture of the skeletal system. So what is the significance of skeleton system? It protects our body, right? The skeleton holds the whole body together and gives it a shape, and it also protects many delicate internal organs of the body such as brain, heart, lungs, liver, and spinal cord from outside damage. All right. Second, it holds as I told you, it holds the whole body together and gives it a shape, so it supports the body, right? So skeleton provide numerous points for the attachment of muscles of the body. It helps in movement, right? Along with muscles, skeleton helps in the movement of body parts and locomotion like walking, etc. So protection, it protects the internal organs and softer tissues. Support, it provides a strong base to prevent the body from collapsing, and movement, it provides attachment point for muscles. So as I told you, in adult there are 206 in human body, and in newborn baby there are 300 bones. Okay, so when the baby grows, some of the bones fuse together and it will become 206 bones. I hope the skeletal system, the function of skeleton is clear to you all. So let us discuss the parts of the skeletal system one by one. So first part is bone. So it is a strong and non-flexible tissue, right? So it forms a framework of the body, and as I told you, in adult there are 206 bones, right? So various bones in our body are present: bones of upper limb, bones of lower limb, rib cage, backbone, shoulder bones, pelvic bones. So these are the upper limb, as you can see in the picture, and lower limbs में आपके legs की bones आ जाती हैं, right? So these are the lower limbs. Rib cage, as you can see in the skeleton system picture diagram, this is the rib cage. So we will discuss these bones one by one in detail. Okay, so the upper limb, let us discuss about the upper limb. So upper limb of human body from the shoulder to the hand is called an arm. So there are two arms in the human skeleton, and two arms are attached to the two shoulder blades of the skeleton by ball and socket joint. We will discuss this joint later in detail. So each arm consists of three parts: upper arm, lower arm, and hand, right? So each upper limb is made up of 30 bones. So arm, one long bone. The upper arm is from shoulder to elbow. The upper arm consists of a single bone called humerus, as you can see in the figure, right? So the lower arm is from elbow to wrist. Right? So the lower arm is made up of two bones, that is radius and ulna. Lateral bone of forearm, and ulna is the medial bone of forearm. So upper arm bone is connected to lower arm bones by a hinge joint at the elbow. We will discuss about this joint in detail later on. So the hand consists of various small bones which form wrist, palm, and fingers. So 8 short carpal bones. So this the name of the bones, this radius, ulna, carpal, is not given in your book. So the lower limbs of the body on which a person walks or stand are called legs. So lower limbs में आपका legs आ जाता है, ठीक है? I hope it is clear to you all. So bones of upper limbs में arm, forearm, wrist, palm. In palm, the 5 long metacarpal bones are there. The name is not given in your book. In fingers, the long bones called phalanges, and thumb 2 phalanges, and each other finger 3 phalanges are there. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, now bones of lower limb. Each lower limb is made of 30 bones. So the lower limbs of the body on which a person walks or stands are called legs. So there are 2 legs in the human body, and the 2 legs are attached to hip bone of the skeleton by ball and socket joint. So each leg consists of 3 parts: upper leg, lower leg, and foot. Okay, so the upper leg is from hip to knee. So upper leg consists of a single bone called femur. Femur is commonly known as thigh bone, right? It is the heaviest and strongest bone of the body. Now next is the lower leg is from knee to ankle. So the lower leg consists of two bones, that is tibia and fibula, and patella को हम क्या बोलते हैं, cup shape bone जिसे हम knee cap बोलते हैं. So leg, tibia and fibula, median bone of leg, and fibula is the lateral bone of leg. All right, so the upper leg bone is connected to a lower leg bones at the knee by a hinge joint, and there is also a knee cap जिसे हम patella बोलते हैं. And the foot consists of various types of small bones which form ankle, middle part of foot and toes. Okay, so the tarsus, metatarsus, phalanges, these names are not given in your book. These names are just for your knowledge. No need to remember this name at this stage of your class. Okay, so you will learn about this bones in detail in your higher classes. Okay, so let us discuss about the next part of skeleton system, a rib cage. Okay, so what is rib cage? If we take a deep breath and hold it for a while and move our hand on the chest, we will find a number of bones in the chest region, and these chest bones are called ribs. So ribs are the curved bones in our chest, as you can see in this figure, right? So these are rib cage. So ribs are the curved bones in our chest, and ribs exist in pairs. So there are 12 pairs of ribs in the chest of our body. So ribs, sternum and thoracic vertebrae form rib cage. No need to remember this name. So we know that there is a long backbone at the back of our body, right? So there is also a small bone called breastbone in the chest region in front of our body, and one end of all the ribs is joined to the backbone, and their other ends is joined to the breastbone. All right, so backbone. So in this way, all the rib bones are part of backbone, and the breastbones join to form a bony cage or box-like structure. So the hollow bony structure formed by the ribs is called rib cage, and some of the important internal organs of our body such as heart, lungs and liver lie inside the strong bony rib cage. So rib cage क्या करता है आपका, ये हमारे delicate internal organs को protect करता है, जैसे heart हो गए, lungs हो गए, liver हो गए, right? So, and it also takes part in our breathing movements, and we will study this in detail in higher classes. So, now let us discuss about the backbone. So, if we put our fingers at the center of the back of our body and move them up and down, we will feel a hard and long structure in the back of our body. This is our backbone, and the backbone is a long, hollow, rod-like structure running from the neck to the hips inside of our body, right? So it is located at the back side of the body. The scientific name of the backbone is vertebral column. So backbone forms a main supporting structure of the body, and backbone is not a single bone. So it is made up of 33 small bones, right? Placed one over the another. The small bones which make up the backbone are called vertebrae, right? And the singular of vertebrae is vertebra, and between the various vertebrae of big backbone are the disc of cartilage. Jise cartilage are the soft bones. So this disc allow the vertebrae to move slightly and enable the backbone to bend forwards and backwards or from side to side, right? That's why we are able to bend. Okay, so if however the backbone was, what happened if the backbone was made of only one long bone? So we would not be able to bend our body. Please note that the top 7 vertebrae of backbone form our neck. All right, so I hope it is clear to all of you. So our backbone supports the head of it at its top. So the shoulder bones, rib bones, and hip bone are all joined to the backbone. Each vertebrae has a hole in it. Due to this, there is a hollow center inside the backbone, and the spinal cord, main nerve from the brain, passes inside the hollow cavity of the backbone. It protects the spinal cord, right? So, significance, the vertebral column ka, that point of attachment for ribs, it protects the spinal cord. So this backbone encloses and protects the spinal cord from damage, right? Okay, so we can now tell the functions of the backbone as follows: that backbone provides main support to the body, it supports the head at its top, it attaches the shoulder bones, ribs and hip bone, and it protects the spinal cord. Clear? Okay, now let us discuss about the shoulder bones. So shoulders are that part of the body, or you can say skeleton, to whichever arms are attached, right? So the human body has two shoulders. Okay, so there are two shoulder bones, collarbone and shoulder blade. The collarbone is a long curved bone. One end of the collarbone is attached to the shoulder blade, and the other end of the collarbone is fixed to the breastbone of rib cage. All right. So shoulder blade and collarbone, and one is the upper arm bone, right? This, as you can see in this picture. So the shoulder blade is a large and flat triangular bone. The shoulder blade is attached to the backbone by muscles to allow the free movement of the shoulder. Each shoulder blade has a cup-shaped socket. The upper arm fits into the socket of shoulder blade, forming the ball and socket joint. So the main function of the shoulder bones are the following: that the collarbones on the two sides of the neck keep our shoulders apart. Shoulder blades attach the arms to our body, and third is the upper arm bone, right? So shoulder blades, what is the function? Shoulder blades provide sites for muscle attachment, which moves the arms, neck and upper part of our body. All right, I hope it is clear to everyone. Shoulder bones. Okay, now pelvic bones. So pelvic bones encloses a portion of the body below stomach, and it is also known as hip bone. So hip bone is not a single bone, it is made up of number of bones fused together by fixed joints. So it encloses the portion of our body below the stomach. It is also the part of the skeleton we sit on. The hip bone has two sockets on the two sides of its lower part. Thigh bones of our legs are joined to the hip bone, or you can say pelvic bone, by the ball and socket joint. We will discuss these joints later on in detail. Alright, so what is the function of pelvic bone? That it supports and protects the lower organs of the body. It attaches the legs to our body. It provides the sides for the attachment of muscle that move legs, hips and trunk. Okay, let us discuss about the skull bones. So there the bony part of our head is called skull, right? So the skull is made up of 22 bony plates joined together. So our brain is inside the skull in its upper part, and the brain is made of soft tissue which could be easily damaged without a hard covering. So the bones of a skull form a strong case around the brain. So in this way, skull, what is the function of skull? Skull protects the brain. So there are two. So the lower part of the skull contains the facial bones, and it forms the front part of skull. There are total 14 bones, and cranial bones forms the cranium of brain, and there are total 8 bones, right? So our face has sense organs such as eyes, ears and nose, right? The skull also protects the main sense organs like eyes, ears and nose. The eyes are containing 2 large cavities. So they are called eye sockets in front of the skull, right? So no need to discuss this, no need to learn about the types of cranial bones, right? You will learn about this in your higher classes. Okay. So let us leave that. Okay. So from this discussion we conclude that some of the main function of the skull are as follows. That skull protects the brain, skull protects the sense organs of the face, skull gives shape to our head. Okay, now let us discuss about the next important part of our skeletal system, that is cartilage. All right, so we know that most of the skeleton consists of hard bones, right? So however, at some places in the skeleton there is a material which is not as hard as bones and which can be bent, and it is called cartilage. So we can now say that though most of the skeleton is made of bones, but it has cartilage too. So it is a semi-transparent, elastic and flexible connective tissue, right? So mature cartilage is relatively solid, so it is a firm but flexible material found at some places in the skeleton, and it is much softer than bone. It can be bent without breaking. In fact, cartilage is a kind of softer and elastic bone. So it is present in the following places in our body. It is present in the pinnae of ears, upper part of the ears, right? It is found at the end of nose. It is found on the end of bones where they meet one another at a joint. It is also present between the vertebrae of backbone. So what is the function? That it maintains the shape and flexibility of the organ and also supports the structure, right? So the upper part of our ear is called pinna and lower part of is called earlobe. If we press the pinna of our ear and the earlobe between our fingers turn by turn, we will find that pinna is harder than earlobe and the pinna of our ear contains cartilage. So cartilage gives support and shape to the ear. So cartilage is flexible, that is why we can bend the pinna of our ear quite freely without the danger of breaking. Feel the end of your nose, right? Feel the end of your nose. We can bend the nose easily. There is a cartilage in the end of our nose. It is the presence of cartilage which gives support and shape to our nose. So from the above discussion we conclude that cartilage gives support and shape to organs like ears and nose, and it is also found on the ends of bones where they meet one another at a joint. Are you getting my point? So cartilage is smooth. The layer of smooth cartilage reduces friction and allows the ends of bones to move easily over each other without damaging them. All right. Okay. So presence of cartilage disc between vertebrae makes the backbone flexible so that it can bend. Okay. So next topic is muscles. So muscle contraction move bones at joints, right? So what is muscle? Muscle is the fibrous tissue in the body that has the ability to contract. So when a muscle contracts, it shortens, means it becomes smaller. Muscles are attached to the bones of our skeleton. So when the muscle attached to a bone contracts, it pulls the bone, due to which the bone moves at the joint. So it is a bundle of tissues with the ability to contract, and it is responsible for movements in the body. So muscular movement, how muscular movement is done? So movement by contraction of muscles, right? It is a movement by contraction of muscles. So the region in human body which exhibit muscular movement of limbs, movement of jaw, tongue, eyelids, right? So how do muscular tissue cause movement? So when the muscle attached to a bone contracts, it pulls a bone, due to which the bone moves at the joint. See, remember this point, a muscle can only pull a bone, it cannot push a bone, right? So muscular tissue contains muscle fibers, and muscle fibers contain contractile proteins which enables contraction and relaxation. I hope it is clear. So contraction and relaxation causes the movement. All right. So a muscle So a muscle can only pull a bone, it cannot push a bone. Another muscle attached to the same bone has to contract to move it in the opposite direction. This means that two muscles work together to move a bone. Are you getting my point? So the muscles joined to our bones work in pairs. When one muscle of the pair contracts, the other muscle of the pair is stretched, or you can say relaxed. Though the stress state of a muscle is called the relaxed state. A contracted muscle cannot come back to its original stress state or relaxed state on its own. A contracted muscle can come back to its original state only when the other muscle of the pair pulls it back by contracting itself. So please note that when a muscle contract is short, but when a muscle stretch it lengthens. So the movement of body parts in human being is brought about by the alternate contraction and relaxation of the muscle attached to the movable bones of the skeleton. Alright, so when muscles pull on the bones, they produce movements such as moving the head, bending of arm, straightening of arm, walking, running. So the contraction of muscle is controlled by the brain, as an example of how our body parts move by the action of muscle joined to the bones. So I hope it is clear to everyone, right? So let us discuss. Okay, bending and straightening of arm, as you can see in this picture, right? So when we want to bend the arm, the bicep, as you can see in this picture, the bicep muscle contracts, right? It becomes shorter and fatter. The contraction of biceps muscle pull the lower arm bones, due to which the lower arm moves up, and bicep muscle is called the flexor muscle because it flexes, it bends the arm. Please note that when bicep muscle contracts and bends the arm, तो जो आपके tricep है वो stretch होते हैं और relax होते हैं, right? So when we want to straighten the arm, the tricep muscle contracts. The contraction of tricep muscles pull the lower arm bones at the end, due to which the lower arm moves out and straightens. I hope it is clear that by the alternate contraction and relaxation of biceps and tricep muscle, we can bend or straighten the arm. That is, we can move the lower arm up and down. And please note that biceps and tricep muscle just bend and straighten the arm. Other muscle move the arm in the other direction, right? I hope it is clear to everyone. So that's all about today. In our next class, we'll discuss about the types of joint and the movement in animals. Thank you. Have a nice day.